Welcome back to another episode of Quick Picks with the Geek. I am your host, Bro Power the Geek. Next up, we got Kyle the Monster Nelson versus Matt the Steamroller Frevola, a fight that sounds less like a UFC matchup and more like a demolition derby. You've got one guy named the Monster and the other called the Steamroller. Someone's walking out of there flattened, and it might just depend on who forgets to block first. Let's break it down. Kyle the Monster Nelson coming in at plus 115 with a record of 16-6. Kyle Nelson is the kind of fighter who looks like he drinks black coffee, eats granite for breakfast, and shadow boxes at stoplights. A former TKO featherweight and interim lightweight champion, he's as Canadian as maple syrup but hits like he's trying to knock down the CN Tower. Nelson's a technically sound striker who mixes in kicks, stance switches, and a stiff jab, especially when he's in rhythm. He lands clean, controls distance well, and against Blake Builder, he looked sharper than ever, using lateral movement, a high guard, and those sneaky leg kicks that make you rethink your life choices. He's also a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and has legit wrestling defense, stuffing 9 of 10 takedowns in his last fight. But the Monster isn't without his flaws. His offensive wrestling is about as active as a parked car. He shoots takedowns less often than I go to the gym, which is saying something. And while he's never been knocked out, major respect for that chin, he does eat 4.7 significant strikes per minute, so his defense still needs tightening. Plus, his UFC record, 4-5, tells the story of a guy who's just a little too inconsistent to break through to the top tier. That said, when he's dialed in, Nelson's a complete fighter. He's got knockout wins, slick submissions, and the durability to outlast chaos. The biggest question is whether he can turn that potential into consistency. Across from him stands Matt the Steamroller Frevola, coming in at minus 135 favorite with a record of 11-5. And if you've ever watched him fight, you know the nickname's not just for show. The man doesn't walk forward, he charges. He's basically a human pressure washer powered by chaos and caffeine. Frevola's got a wrestling and BJJ background, brown belt level grappling, and he knows how to use it. His blend of wrestling, top control, and ground and pound is dangerous, and when he's on the feet, it's even scarier. He's knocked out Drew Dober, Otman Azatar, and a few poor souls who probably still hear Steamroller in their nightmares. 7 of his 11 wins are by finish, and 6 of those came in round 1. But with great chaos comes great risk. Frevola's defense can look like he's trying to block punches with his face. He's been knocked out 4 times, and when he gets clipped, he stays clipped. Guys like Benoit Saint-Denis and Terrence McKinney caught him early, and his pressure-heavy style can leave him open to those perfectly timed counters. Still, the man is built different. He's got heart, cardio, and that military toughness. Literally, he's a lieutenant in the U.S. Army Reserve. You can't teach that kind of grit. The problem is, sometimes that grit gets him in trouble because he refuses to not brawl. So, who wins? If Kyle Nelson wins this fight, it's because he keeps things controlled. He'll use his jab, leg kicks, and range to pick apart Frevola and punish him for coming in recklessly. Nelson's the better technician. If he can manage the chaos, mix in some level changes, and keep his back off the fence, he can rack up points or even find a late finish once Frevola starts slowing down. But if Frevola wins, and you know where this is going, it's because he turns the octagon into a war zone. He wants pressure, scrambles, blood, and violence. He'll throw heavy combinations, crash into clinches, and look to either ground and pound Nelson or just bomb him out on the feet. Frevola thrives when things get ugly, and if he can close the distance early, that's where the Steamroller does his best work. This is one of those fights where it's all about control versus chaos, and the line between those two is paper thin. Official pick. This one's tough. Kyle Nelson's got the technique, but Frevola's got that dog in him, and not the cute kind, the one that bites the mailman. I'm rolling with Matt the Steamroller Frevola to get it done. I think he weathers the early counters, pushes the pace, and eventually overwhelms Nelson in a gritty back-and-forth scrap. Give me Matt Frevola by second round TKO. In a fight where both guys leave a piece of themselves in the cage, and someone in the crowd leaves thinking, I need a cigarette, and I don't even smoke. If you enjoyed this, go ahead and smash that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss a beat when the next video drops. And don't be shy. Leave a comment below and let me know who you got winning this fight. Let's see who really has the crystal ball around here. Until next time.